Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Carefree Black Girl podcast. We discuss everything carefree, black, and girl. I am one of your favorite hosts, Mika Lee. I will now pass it down to Miss Hazel.
Hazel Harvey.
And I'm your girl, Hazel Harvey, the realest of the real. And I'm going to pass it to Big Les, not the little one.
You already know it's Big Vet Les, your favorite veteran turned entrepreneur. And it is Dr. Phoenix Lux, your therapy and fantasy baddie. And guess what, y'all? It's
What?
a 2.0 show.
2.0, 2.0, not the po.
Hey, we love a good impromptu song.
Listen.
So, in our 2.0 shows, we kind of casual kickback, but this time we are going to talk about something a little bit more serious. We've had a recent, we took a little break. We talked about a few things and we came back. And also, the jury came back with a verdict for Diddy. And so he was found guilty on 2 out of 5 charges, if I'm not mistaken. And those were essentially just kind of like hiring a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
And they had something to do with the Mann Act. Mm-hmm. I would encourage you to look it up. So don't be arguing with us because we don't got every single little detail. There's a lot going on. And you're going to see. And so I just want to start by, first, it's really disheartening seeing this because certain people were compelled to testify, like Dawn Richards. Some people, and then for Cassie, she had to talk about like every degrading thing that they asked the question about. Then you have to get cross-examined, and then for it to come back down where he really got charged with the lighter of some of those charges. I hope you guys understand why people don't come forward. And I think that's what one of the takeaways I saw from this is because she was pregnant. She had to come. She had to relive this. She's already in another marriage with other kids. She has to tell all these horrible things. And then for the law to kind of say, it makes people feel discouraged about sharing their story and seeking quote unquote justice. That's what I took away from just this trial in particular. How about y'all? How did y'all feel when y'all heard the verdict come down?
I just feel like this is like a reoccurring theme for especially like celebrities or Black celebrities who have in some way abused or are being accused of abusing other celebrities or not even other celebrities, just other people. And then they get, because the truth of the matter is it's not Diddy's first time going to court. Like this is a reoccurring theme with him, period. But this is the first time like he's actually seen or that he's went through a full judicial process where he's in jail. Like, there's like no bail. Like you don't get no bail. Yeah. You got to sit up in this and go through this process. So there's, I guess, some quote unquote upside to that he was treated like any other citizen would be as far as the little things. But when you talk about the actual trial and like, sometimes I feel I get frustrated with the justice system because of, how evidence can be thrown out or testimony can be thrown out because of small things that may occur. Yeah, the legalese behind the whole system can prevent justice from being served in a way. And I think that is what annoys me because from what I understand, they just couldn't prove. They didn't have enough to prove that all the other things were actually true.
I feel like because they tried to get him on racketeering, which
and all the stuff didn't fit the criteria.
Yeah, I felt like it was overly ambitious, and I'm not a lawyer, so don't come from me. But from a clinical perspective, I just think it's insane that their defense was, we're not going to tell you he's not a bad person. Yes, he beat her up. Yes, y'all seen him kick her down the hallway. Yeah. But that's not what we're here for today. And so that just is like, it's mind-boggling to me how, you know, convoluted our justice system is when there is physical real-time evidence of bribery and abuse. Hazel, you seem
you have
over it,
Completely
like a
over it.
visceral reaction.
What's tea?
Fried shit it got. But sorry, y'all. But it's irritating because it's like, as y'all know, for the viewers that watched our last episode about Black women taking breaks and like stepping back, it's like this is that. But this goes back to how I said victims being forced to testify and all those things like that, because it's like this is why we don't speak up. Because in the other case of like what happened to Cassie was years ago, and you know, with social media, Twitter or X, y'all come up with all these conspiracy theories of like what's going on and all those things, and it's just like I feel like y'all took a Black woman's story and past and try to put her in the forefront to make it seem like, you know, this is what it is, but it's like in the behind the scenes, y'all didn't get the RICO charge. Y'all didn't get all the other, you know.
That's what it was, RICO.
Yeah. Y'all didn't get all those charges and those things like that. So it's like Cassie had to face this as a pregnant woman, forget the Black woman, as a pregnant woman, had to go up there and talk about her horror stories that she went through, that she probably done moved on and probably healed from and probably never wants to speak on it again. She has a new family. She's with a new man. She
actually had to do this twice. She did it on the civilian side, or not civil side.
Yeah.
And then now on the criminal side.
But that's what just irritates me about all this.
And
It's
add
just
the
like,
Black back, because she's a pregnant Black woman, and we have the highest mortality rate when delivering birth. And so she had to go through
she was 8 months pregnant.
and y'all don't know,
trial.
and people don't know what she has to go through after all that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because it's so many like, oh, and then what I can't like what I want the viewers to know is like, for me, I'm not involved in an indulgent situation because this is like real life trauma. When people go through this stuff, it's real life. It's not for the media. It's not for people to get up in here and have their think pieces about. This is real life of what that woman has to go through. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't get involved in tune in, because you have people be like like Cassie's up there, you know, pleading her case, and it's like all y'all care about is, oh, well, I wonder how her husband feels. Like, oh, he hearing all this and hearing about how she had to have these little freak nights and all these things. That's not the picture.
Or the timing of it all.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's not the timeline of what's going on. If Cassie would have had the, you know, if Cassie would have had the strength to speak up at that moment when things were happening, and someone at the hotel would have sent the camera footage of when she got dragged out that hotel when it happened, things probably could have happened because it happened in that moment. But since years later, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the you know, the system and things like that with Diddy. But since that happened, now all of a sudden years later we get the footage and we get to see the truth about the man behind the picture because of what's happening behind the scenes. So the fact that Cassie had to go through all this just for that is sad and it's sickening. Mm-hmm. So when people be like, oh, well, yeah, like, I want to know, like, you know, like, what do y'all feel? What do y'all think? Yeah. This is a real life situation that people have to go through.
Mm-hmm. I think my issue comes in is with the accountability. It's tough seeing a Black woman being a victim on one end, being a victim, but then also in the courtroom seeing another Black woman coming to this man's defense, you know, like, and he was beating on you and whipping your ass, and here you are.
Who was that?
His ex-wife, what's her name? She went in with one leg because she had her knee bandaged up. What's her name?
One of the kids'
mom.
Okay.
You got what I'm saying? But just right, yeah. So it's one of the moms. So it's just like, where's the accountability? You know, like who? You know, as a Black woman, how do you stand? How do you go in there and be like, oh, you know, I'm here to support this man, and you were on the other side of that spectrum, you know? So I just think the accountability, just seeing that as, we're people who love celebrities and we indulge in that type of things, whatever. But just in general, we have family members, or some people have family members that, people don't get protected from their own family members, young Black girls, young Black boys,
Yeah.
And it's predators just as bad as Diddy in our more
Close
local
proximity.
communities,
Yeah.
So it's like, where does the accountability come in at? When do we stop the uncle? When do we stop that aunt?
I think it's because also it's just so much sinister shit that happened in this case, y'all. Because as somebody who works with survivors and sexual assault survivors and domestic violence survivors, I've been like, I just try to stay cognizant. But one of his defense attorneys was a Black woman who was a survivor. And like, how sinister you got to be to like select somebody like that.
Yeah.
And we just talked about the utility of Black women and when do we step back in our last episode. And it's just like...
That would have been a great time to step back.
We get used all around. And it's like, at what point do we begin to stop separating the artist or the mogul from the money and the art? Because it feels like when they have those things, we have so many excuses. Because he's not the only one. Right. I mean, you got Chris Brown,
R. Kelly,
you got Trey Songz,
and they love hollering out, free my nigga R. Kelly. They love hollering that one out.
You got Tory Lanez,
and even recent conversation, Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
And with Shannon Sharp, it's
was told
it's a white woman
3 times. Stop messing with them girls.
And it's just so sinister. Like, when do we start deplatforming people for when they harm Black women? And the only reason I feel like Shannon Sharp got any flack for that girl, it was because she was a white woman. But I feel like he would have gotten more if she wasn't a sex worker. Because people try to play with sex workers too. But because she had an OnlyFans, people tried to play her to the left.
Right.
And it's just, it gets very disheartening as a Black woman having to always defend your existence and people who look like you. Your existence.
Yeah.
What I want to speak to the Shannon Sharp situation is, though, I want everybody kind of like, if you kind of look at it from the whole outer spec of it all, it's like, because even with Shannon Sharp's situation, I think what people always are going to remember is, at the end of the day, if it's a Black man putting on the forefront of, what they did wrong at X, Y, and Z, it's always going to be ignored. Whether you're a Black woman, whether you're a white woman, whether you're a Hispanic woman, whether you're an Asian woman, if it's a Black man, a man in the community, in the culture that's known, it's going to be ignored. Because at the end of the day, that's just what the example is.
What do you mean by it's going to be ignored? What you mean?
Like, whoever speaks up, it's not going to be taken seriously.
Right, like they're not going to believe them.
No.
Okay.
I
because like you said,
a little bit, because when it's certain white women and certain because we have things like Emmett Till and that history repeating itself. I feel like the closer proximity you have to being undesirable, with which Black women always are brought into that conversation. And like the girl, like I said, she was a sex worker, so that brings her closer in relativity to us. I get so fed up with, like, people think one minute it's Black girl magic. We're the wisest, strongest, everybody feels safe around us. But when it's time to defend us, where's that same static? Y'all don't want to preserve the magic. Y'all just want to use it.
Y'all know one of our favorite games is the Who Said That? Who said that?
You said
it? Okay, girls. So I'm going to start off with number 1. And I want y'all to guess who said that. And I'm going to do it in a cute little voice. Probably just, Okay. Here we go. Call me when you want to get real.
I knew you was going to do this. Steel Magnolia's voice.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Call me when you want to get real.
Is it Nene?
I feel like it's Nene.
Nene Leaks?
I feel like
Lanithia?
Wait,
Leaks.
pause. Call me when you want to get
Call
real.
me.
I feel like
That
she
sounds
said
so
that.
familiar.
Want to get real.
Who said that?
I'm
But
gonna
I
say,
mean, what she say to
I'm gonna just
man?
take a guess, a wild guess, Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Call me when you want to get real.
I feel like she said that to Sheree.
That do sound like a Nene line.
No, it really sounds like that.
Call
Is
and
it
she put her
Lanithia?
bag on her shoulder.
Who is it? I'm dying. Not you.
Now she don't have the person.
Call me when you want to get real.
Could be Lanithia.
I feel like this was
It's
short
actually
haircut.
Shannon
Nene.
Monique when she was talking to Shannon Sharp. When she was
Ah.
like, real Shannon.
Oh, shoot.
It was Monique.
Sorry, Momo.
You're right about the girl.
She said he needed to sit his old ass down.
Uh-huh.
You know, call me when you want to get real.
But I know I heard it because I did watch
Right,
that.
yeah.
I did watch
I
that
didn't say
interview.
Shannon because it was an interview.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it would have. We could have probably
Call
thought
me
Cat
when you
Williams.
want
No,
to
yeah,
get
we
real.
could definitely thought different people.
And that's another thing. He don't deserve no grace. He had two people come up
You
there,
got what I'm
look him
saying?
in the eye and say,
Watch
tighten up.
them.
That's a hard headed
They
nigga.
literally told him that.
Told
Right.
him that. All right. Next one is
My
Or-
crown is paid for and it's mine.
My crown is paid for, and it's
I'm going to say
mine.
Mama D because she thinks she royalty.
No,
Ah,
she,
that is a
she don't
good
gotta pay for a
guess.
crown.
my crown.
My crown
She don't
is
gotta pay
paid
for a
for
crown,
and
no.
it's mine.
So
Who said that?
she did repeat it, but she also said who originally said it when she said that.
My,
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Prince. No,
And
it's a girl.
You got bowed now or what?
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Who paid for their crown?
My crown is paid for and it's
Mama
mine.
D said, in the words of Shirley Chisholm, my crown is paid for.
Shirley who?
Not
Shirley Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm.
Know your history, girls.
I didn't catch the last name.
Shirley
I was like,
Chisholm.
who?
My crown is paid
So
for.
I got
and
it
it's mine.
half
So Mama
right.
D.
You did get it half right.
Okay, so Shirley Chisholm.
I didn't hear the last name. I was like, who?
He said who?
Shirley.
Who said that?
Who said that? For real?
She said that?
I heard. I was thinking Shirley Rav. That's why I heard Cheryl. I was like Shirley Rav.
Okay.
Ooh,
And the last but not least, you can never win when you play dirty, honey.
Now that
You
one,
can never win.
Lanithia.
That's
I feel like
Nene.
that's Lanithia.
Who did she say it to?
You can never win when you
I
play
feel like
dirty.
she said that to
Probably,
Sheree.
Was it
probably Candy.
Nope.
Was it
Who
Sheree?
was it? It wasn't
No,
Kim.
Portia.
Phaedra Parks.
It was Phaedra.
It was
That
Phaedra.
She said it to Phaedra?
Phaedra
You can never
Parks.
Like
win when you
this,
play
how she
dirty.
said,
And was
tell
that a
him-
reunion?
Tell him
Yep.
Portia.
Yes.
Make me call Portia.
If I could try to reenact it a little bit, she gave. You tried to call my sisters and my family to come on the show behind my back.
Okay.
You can never play dirty. You can what she say?
You can never win when
When you play dirty,
dirty.
honey.
And I
You
bet
can never
and
play.
Phaedra just be sitting there like
She was like, She's like, she's like, that's not how it happened.
Yeah,
That's not
but
how it
okay,
happened,
I'm
Nene. But
weak.
okay.
But if you give me,
well,
Phaedra
she's a
said
little
one.
bit older than me. You didn't go to school with me because you're older than
Just
my
about a
oldest
few
brother.
years. I'm 43 to be exact.
Okay, congratulations. Happy birthday.
Well, we won't go there.
We can.
Y'all are hilarious.
And for our carefree, open the door, carefree keys. We are going to talk about the clean up woman syndrome. You know, we have the black sheep of the family, but we do have the gold sheep of the family. The sheep of the family who is always there to save the day. When there's a conflict in the family between the auntie and the uncle, maybe y'all resolve the problems. Anyone. Oh wait, you know who's a great? You know who's a
Olivia
great?
Pope.
No, not Olivia. Oh, well, I wasn't a scandal girl, but we got to throw it back to the 90s.
Gladiator.
We got to talk about like the Terry, the
Terry Soul
the
Food.
Terry of the family.
I'm glad you brought her up because when you're
Oh,
little,
Terry.
Terry seems so mean when you're young and watching it, but when you're an
Yes.
adult,
You
Okay.
realize,
You
like,
yeah, she
You right,
absolutely was
Terry.
valid. Yeah.
So we gotta
Okay.
talk about like, you know, the savior of the family, the girl who's always there, whether it's financial, mentally, emotionally, physically.
Cleaning
You
up
know,
everyone messes.
how do we give, advice to girls who are dealing with, having to carry the weight of their family right now? Has anyone here gone through that or have went through that, and y'all kind of like put a stop to it?
Mm-hmm.
What give us a tea?
How did it feel?
I can remember, and this is like a small version of that, but when my grandmother and my great aunt died, they were the matriarchs on my mom's side of the family. They kept us together. Like, so when they died, it kind of was on my grandmother's grandkids and her children to kind of carry that on. And I remember there was a Christmas we hosted, like the family dinner. Everybody's coming at the house. And I'm young. I'm like in college. But I came home. I cooked the turkey, macaroni, collard greens, cleaning the house.
Tomatoes.
Like, you name it. I was doing it. But I was like really stressed because I had all these classes. I had to come home. I got sick as a dog. Like fever, like wrapping up. And I remember my boyfriend's up there. I couldn't even eat. One person came to check on me besides my mama, and that was my aunt, to make sure I was okay. Everybody else got their food and left the house. Ain't clean up a thing. Ain't say thank you. Ain't say hey.
You need something.
It was a reckoning for me. Like, I am sick. Like, I later had to go. I had strep throat, so I had to go get the shots and everything. I'm sick, and they ain't say, hey, where Naya at? And I was like, oh, okay. I see what time it is. And from that point, because it was more of a breaking point, because it was more than just the dinner. It was like, you can't say you okay, thank you. And when you set those boundaries after not having some for so long, you become the villain in people's stories.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just had to really learn that, like Harvey did said, y'all know I'm a nerd. He said you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That doesn't always mean corruption. At some point, when you establish boundaries, especially if you've had weak ones, you will become the villain, because all their life they've had free reign to walk all over you, do what you want, do whatever they want. And so when you say, hey, stop, you inconvenience them.
Yeah.
And people don't like to be inconvenienced. And so I had to realize my empathy cannot surpass my boundaries.
That's right.
And so I had to be done. Okay. I had to be done with that. And from that point, I became the oh, y'all know Naya, she'll say no in a minute.
That's me.
She'll say no in a minute. You know, she mean. She a mean little something. She'll say no in a minute. They don't remember all the times Naya said yes. Naya gave money she ain't got back. Naya let you borrow clothes she ain't got back. Naya cook it.
They don't remember that.
Now that she got bound, she'll say no in a minute. You can't mess with her. And I just had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
I wanted to paint the picture too for the silent cleanup women. And I think that those are the people who may have a bad rep in a sense, but are also laying down and standing on business with their families and breaking generational curses when it comes to finding solutions for problems.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if there is an issue within the family dynamic, like full transparency, there was an issue in my family for Thanksgiving. I don't know what's up with Thanksgiving.
That food.
But there was an issue where, there's sometimes people operate in the family where their go-to is the silent treatment. Like when they got an issue with you, their thing is to avoid whatever that issue is in that person. But not just that, they make the people around them feel compelled to do the same thing. And so and I've been in that same situation as well. But in this case, we were all together. Cousin was scared to come hang out with us because mom was the one who was not within, was the one giving everybody silent treatment. And so I couldn't relate to that because I've been there. But I've gotten to the point where I can be a part of the family group because I'm no longer doing that game where I'm fighting other people's battles within the family. And it's literally because people have the emotional maturity of 8-year-old kids and can't have a conversation about their issues and come up with proper solutions. So therefore, I just want to show some love to the generational curse breakers and the silent cleanup women within the family that actually are doing their own individual work to break generational curses.
That's
period.
Say that.
And sorry. I go? Okay. That's right. And I want to speak for the black sheeps out there that feel like they are black sheeps. You only feel like a black sheep because you are making yourself a black sheep. My advice for people just outside of like, the family members who had to save the day and things like that. For my black sheeps, I feel like they're black sheeps. You're not a black sheep, baby. But for those who are always the one to fix the problem financially, mentally, or physically, move. Strive to move. Whether it's for college, whether it's for work, anything like that, just get out your city that you were raised and grew up in. Because that's what's holding you back. It's the city that you grew up in. Like I said, the last episode, I'm 4 years in Charlotte. I'm from Connecticut, and I moved 4 years ago. And looking at the dynamic, I would consider myself a black sheep. But looking now that I moved out of my city at 20 years old, baby, I'm the golden sheep. Because now it's like, oh, where's Hazel at? Where's she at? What's she doing? What she got going on? And I don't even know my family. I don't know my family drama. I don't know my family business because I'm away.
You decided to decenter.
Exactly. I don't have to wake up and go down the street and hear about what's going on at auntie house, at cousin house. So if I tell y'all anything, if you're a grown adult and you don't want your child, even if you're the savior of the family that always got to be there for everybody, and you have your generation coming up, growing up, you don't want that generation to live like that, how you lived. So even teach your child to go and move on and move forward. There's more to life than just the small town that you grew up in. So that would be my advice of how to stop the whole cleanup woman syndrome. Get out. Explore life. Like, if it's about college, about work, if it's about your career and goals, let them do that. Because it's going to be that auntie, that cousin that like, oh, why are they going down to Florida? Why are they going down to California? What's wrong with what's wrong with Charlotte? They can't stay in Charlotte. There's more to life than Charlotte, baby.
Period. All right, y'all. It has been another episode of the Carefree Black Girl podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media, Carefree Black Girl. Again, I am Mika Lee. You can follow me on all social media, Mika Lee, and follow my blog at mikalee.com.
It's the realest of the real. I gotta say too much. You're gonna see you in the next episode. Season 11. What's good?
Period.
Big vet Les.
All right, it is your girl, Big Vet Les, your favorite veteran turned entrepreneur. Y'all can find me everywhere at Leslie Latrice and on my website, Leslie Latrice.
Big Leslie, bitch, like what the fuck? Let me see.
I'm talking about any.
All right, you guys, it's Dr. Phoenix Lux, your favorite fantasy baddie, Therafairy, and blurred historian. You can find me at Blurry Love on IG, Phoenix Lux everywhere else. Remember what we talked about, and I'll leave you with a final little tea. You help people water their gardens, not plant. Okay? Okay. So you just water, don't plant. And we are out. This has been a 2.0.
And I feel like I'm so carefree, black girl. I'm so carefree, black girl. Hey, I'm so carefree, black girl. Hey, I'm so carefree, black girl. Hey.
Bye.